Yo, what up, what up, what up, and welcome everybody. Welcome to Pinoid News, man. Listen, I'm here, I'm back. It's ready to rock and roll. We have spent a week in YouTube jail. It is what it is, man. Listen, you know what I'm saying? Because of this, we now have a Trovo account where you can catch me live over on Trovo. It's a streaming service. It's not as good as YouTube, but it's kind of like a Twitch or a D Live type of deal. Right. And you know what I'm saying? I put the link in the description. Anybody wants to go watch over there. If you hate YouTube, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But I think, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? It's something. Like, I hate going off platform. I really do. We also have a Rumble account and we also have an Odyssey account. You know what I mean? I'll be honest with you. I don't like either one of those platforms, and building a base on any other place is really difficult. Building a base anywhere is highly difficult. It took me forever to get to where we are right now with 2,500 subs. Yo, Adam Hartz, Michael Hatfield, welcome, my brothers. Welcome. Nice to see y'all out here today. So, yo, Evil Dead Ed, what up, man? Welcome. You know what I'm saying? Your link is in the Discord if you're interested in coming and hanging out. You know what I mean? And spending some time. We're going to go over some stuff today. I got 2 articles loaded up, ready to rock and roll. You know what I'm saying? I got this here. Yo, Johnny Boy, man, welcome. Congratulations for making it. You know, it's legit. Like, yo, I know like a lot of people be trying to, you know what I mean, come out here and catch these live streams and whatnot, but you know what I mean, it's kind of difficult. I understand everybody got to work, it's a pain in the ass, like it's just how it works. It is what it is. Anyway, so man, listen, all right, we're going to start first on the article about what happened with the impeachment, right? And this, I'll be honest, man, I caught an interview with this dude, you know what I'm saying? He was on I think MSNBC or CNN or one of these fucking networks that are complete and utter garbage. Right? It says Trump lawyer accuses House managers of manipulating evidence by pointing to doctors' tweets that weren't used in the impeachment trial. Right. And they're like, yo, here's like, let's get into this. Trump lawyer David Schoen accused House managers of manipulating evidence in the impeachment trial. Schoen said Friday that the managers created false representation of tweets. However, the doctor tweets were never presented in the trial, but they were on them and like to the people. And that's the problem is, you know how this works, man. Like, yo, the truth, a lie gets twice around the world before the truth ever has a chance to get its pants on. Like, that's how it works. So Donald Trump's lawyer, David Schoen, claimed on Friday that House impeachment managers may have manipulated parts of their presentation against the former president this week. Yet the evidence he pointed to was never used in their case. There is significant reason to doubt the evidence the House managers had put before us, Schoen said during his defense of Trump in his second impeachment trial. Let me say this clearly. We have reason to believe that House managers manipulated evidence and selectively edited footage. If they did, and this were a court of law, they would face sanctions from the judge. That's absolutely true. Well, maybe depending on what judge they were in front of. Let's be honest here. You know, I mean, that's really that's really, at the heart of this matter. You know, I mean, is kind of there's a lot of this kangaroo court bullshit going on, especially, in a lot of, especially like blue states in this country where they're allowing individuals get away with way too much shit, right? So Schoen specifically accused the Democratic managers of having created false representations of tweets. In his presentation, he displayed a photo in a New York Times article of lead impeachment manager Jamie Raskin looking at two tweets dated January 3rd, 2020 on a computer screen. One was a Trump retweet of a supporter writing that she will proudly stand beside 6th. Another was a follow-up tweet from this bringing the cavalry, Mr. Press here. You know what I'm saying, is kind of one of the deal. Like, this is, I mean, how do I put this, man? This is kind of like where it's at, right? So like, this is a New York Times article where, it's a paper, a note, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. And they're sitting there just basically flat, bold-faced lying, right? Because like, yo, this is 2021, not 2020. But the House impeachment managers were never presented the doctor's tweet at the trial. But that's the thing is like, so now you have all these individuals out here thinking that, you know what I'm saying? Like, now it's a political bias thing if he doesn't get impeached, even though like legally, like, they sat there and didn't have any real evidence of anything. And this is what I told y'all like before, he wasn't going to be impeached because like, there's no evidence. It's all just, a giant, show for, the Trump haters and the people with Trump derangement syndrome. Correctly dated January 3rd, 2021, which has since been taken down as his account was permanently suspended. They also showed a follow-up tweet with the same date. To be fair, the House managers caught this error before showing it to the Senate floor. You never saw it when it was presented to you, showing said Friday. And that's kind of like, and this is what I'm saying, right? You're like, they caught their error. But this is kind of where it's at, right? Trump's defense lawyers are preventing their case on Friday that the impeachment trial was unconstitutional because Trump is no longer president, and that his speech shortly before the January 6th riot is protected under the First Amendment. Their arguments, commenters have directly blamed Trump for his role in the riot and accused him of, like, I'll be honest, you know what I mean? Like, this is just, I don't even know what to say at this point. Like, legit. I mean, he got acquitted and he should have got acquitted. You know what I mean? But like, it's fucking retarded that we're still like standing, like they're able to do this shit and they're not punished for it. Like, legitimately, because like, yo, if I did this shit or if you did this shit, you know what I mean, in a fucking courtroom, we would immediately be goddamn punished. Like, real shit. You know what I mean? Like, let's be perfectly honest here about things. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. MC, what up, man? Welcome, my brother. You know what I'm saying? Stone Mexican guy. Nice to see you out here. Right. And it's one of those things where you just go, man, listen, why is it that these people are not punished for what the fuck it is that they do as a whole? Like, legit. Like, shouldn't they, you know what I mean? Like, legitimately be really fucking like be fucking like have individuals have sanctions against them, get them kicked out of the fucking Senate for this type of shit. Like, why is it that, you know what I mean, like, yo, they're allowed to get away with this shit here, but like, yo, they're fucking like Donald Trump or anybody else did this fucking shit anywhere else, you know what I mean, they would immediately get fucking like thrown or lambasted or fucking called out on their fucking bullshit. The news is legitimately not doing their fucking job. And that's the goddamn problem. Because it doesn't matter whether it's left or the fucking right. It really doesn't. Like, legit. This is all just political fucking circus. In the end of the day, this is all just fucking theater. It's here just, you know what I'm saying, to keep individuals in the goddamn suburbs voting for motherfuckers like Biden because they want a goddamn bad guy. You know what I mean? It's like Tony Montana said, like, yo, you motherfuckers need motherfuckers like me to point your fucking fingers at and say, that's the bad guy. You know what I mean? And that motherfucker walked out and said, say goodnight to the fucking bad guy. It's the last time you're going to see a bad guy like me. It is what it is, right? These Americans are goddamn fucking bored. Like, yo, it's so fucking annoying. Like, legitimately, it's the most annoying shit in the planet to me. Because, like, yo, I couldn't imagine voting for somebody just because of what the fuck he is. Or against somebody because of what the fuck he is. Like, if there's a black guy with good idea, like, I almost voted for Obama just only because of his fatherhood initiative. Like, yo, because that's something that really matters to me. Because it's a fucking issue. Has dick to do about fucking race. I don't care about the race of the individual who's bringing up the shit that I care about. I don't care if it's an old white guy. I don't care if it's a white lady. Like, I'd vote Tulsi Gabbard just because I think she's a stand-up bitch as a person. You know what I'm saying? I think that broad will stand the fuck up to whoever, whenever. Like, legit. I mean, and I'll be honest, I don't like a lot of her fucking policies, but just by the fact that she's a stand-up motherfucker, like, yo, she will take on the goddamn CIA and take on the NSA and take on the FBI. That's important shit in the end of the day. Like, yo, but nobody fucking cares. They only care about the fact, like, oh man, like, yo, people have a problem with Biden because he's a fucking old white dude. I actually heard a statistic today, right? That, like, what was it? It's like 80% of fucking the individuals who care about Biden being an old white guy are suburbanite white people. like, yo, it's like 10% of everybody else gives a shit what fucking color he is. You're like, yo, we care about what the fuck he's gonna do. And this is the goddamn problem. Like, yo, white people are fucking bored. They're sheltered and fucking bored. Like, yo, real shit. They don't leave the fucking house. They don't do anything. You know what I mean? Like, yo, fucking anyway, right? Like, yo, it boggles my goddamn mind why it is motherfuckers are allowed to get away with the shit that they fucking get away with. You know what I mean? MC, I don't know, nigga. Like, yo, legit, I've fucking seen her stand up and, you know what I mean, take on shit that everybody else refused to do so about. You know what I mean? And like, whether or not, you know what I mean, she has the backbone that Trump has, I don't know. I think she does. And like, legitimately, I think she should have worked with Trump more, you know what I mean, in ending these fucking overseas wars and bringing our fucking troops home and not dealing with the Middle East no more and just fracking out the goddamn country and not having to worry about fucking overseas goddamn fuel. Like, real shit. Like, yo, you don't have to worry about price shocks in fucking America. Well, other than here recently, you know what I mean? Because like, we have a problem of, you know, this giant fucking snowstorms kind of fucking everything up for everybody. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. Miss Clementine, how you doing? Right. But like, it's illegal to sell US crude outside of the United States, right? And that's kind of the deal. So when it comes down to it, they stand here and, I mean, they have, how do I put this? You know what I'm saying? It's like, that means that like everybody else, has to fight over Saudi Arabian and fucking Russian exports. Like, legitimately. So why is it that we're having this fucking conversation about why we're still in the fucking Middle East? We don't need that fucking oil. Like, that's for Europe. Fuck Europe. Let them fucking deal with their own shit. They're grown-ups. They're supposed to be full-fledged fucking countries and shit. Prime mover, how the fuck you doing? Welcome, my brother. Welcome. Nice to see you out here. Right? I mean, and that's kind of where it's at. Why are we standing here providing military forces for the rest of the fucking world when it don't fucking pay for us to do so? Richard Lane, how you doing, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, complacency. You know what I'm, you're not, Miss Client, you're not wrong. Complacency is taking over the goddamn country. Like, fucking, like, I don't care about India or Japan. I don't care about any of these motherfuckers. Like, legit. I don't care about any of these other countries but my own. I care about my fucking country. Like, legit. You know how long a terrorist has to swim to get to the United States? Like, real shit. You know what I mean? Like, like, nigga, you want to come over here and bomb us? It's going to be a long swim, homie. Like, it is what it is. Like, man, listen, like, that's really where it's at, though, in the end of the day. Like, you don't have to, you know what I mean, stand here and have to fucking defend the rest of the world and worry about terrorists and worry about all the rest of the fucking bullshit. Legitimately, if we stop bringing in these goddamn fucking immigrants to do the fucking work that Americans, you know what I'm saying, want more money to do because they deserve more money because their fucking money's more now fucking worthless and shit. That's the truth of the matter. It ain't about the fact that like people don't like immigrants and it's fucking xenophobic or fucking nativist and shit. You know what I mean? Look, the Rio Grande isn't that long. All right. Yeah, again, like, they still have to swim to Mexico in the end of the day. Like, it is what it is. Like, I understand, like, we've had fucking terrorists go into like Brazil and Costa Rica and all these other places. But the truth of the matter is like, we could easily work with their fucking, you know what I mean, their fucking Secret Service agencies and things of this nature, you know what I mean, all their intelligence agencies, and prevent the goddamn terrorism that way. And then on top of that, if we just secure our southern fucking border, right, legit, Mexico will not import them. Like, it's that simple, because like Mexico understands that they are fully reliant upon the United States in the same way that the U.S. is relying upon Mexico. So it behooves them to behave themselves. It's that simple. And Mexico won't import them. They'll stop doing that if we fucking put it in and go, hey, look, this is what you need to do. This is proper fucking diplomacy and fucking international goddamn relations. Right? It is. And like, they, just like Mexico, like, all of a sudden, like, they're enforcing the goddamn fucking southern border of Mexico. It's because the United States stood up and said, yeah, no mas, motherfucker, stop this dumb bullshit. And they stopped. Like, that's all it takes is having somebody strong enough to tell these motherfuckers to do. You know what I mean? Mexico has every reason to listen, MC. Every goddamn reason in the world. Because Mexico is fully reliant upon U.S. goddamn trade for their fucking jobs and economy themselves. Like, legit. Like, my man's, he said, the president of Mexico, right? He said, I don't want to fight the cartels anymore. I want to try and rise my people up out of poverty. And the way that he fucking rises his people up out of poverty is by standing here having individuals be able to fucking get fucking jobs and rise up through the fucking ranks and actually make money and become a goddamn fucking second and first world fucking citizen. That's how the fuck they do it. And without U.S. fucking trade and without U.S. fucking corporations and businesses, you know what I'm saying? Without the U.S. standing here fucking, you know what I mean, allowing them to do so, right? Because like legitimately all we got to do is, yeah, you ain't importing shit no more. You know what I mean? Like, and I understand it'll fuck us a little bit, but like it was going to fuck them way harder. And all of a sudden the cartels really do actually run Mexico at that point. Like, that's how the fuck this works. That's how you have to stand up and handle this with diplomacy. And like, they go, all right, well, yeah, now let's fucking rock together. That's kind of where it is. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it all is, what it is. Man, let me tell you something, man. I had to go up north today, right? Drop my kids off to their mom and shit. And I went up there, you know what I'm saying? I went to like a little Dollar General up there. And you know what I mean? I had to get some diapers and shit for the kids. You know what I'm saying? Like give to their mom. And I went and bought a box of diapers and some wipes. And the kids went through the aisle. And like my 2-year-old picked up a bunny rabbit out of one of like a little toy bins or whatever. And she held it and smiled and hugged it. And she looked at me and goes, please. Of course, right. So I had to buy her a goddamn bunny rabbit. And then a sister grabbed one because like I can't treat them separate. You know what I mean? It's like now they both got bunny rabbits. Anyway, right. I get up to the fucking cash register. You know what I'm saying? And like, I'll get up to the fucking broad and I'm like, I need a pack of, Maverick Menthols. Actually, I told her, I said, since y'all out of Maverick Menthols, give me a pack of them cools. Right. And so like they, they was like, oh, we got Mavericks. And I was like, yeah, you ain't got no menthols. And they look, oh no, we're out. Right. Oh, we got some reds. And I was like, yeah, that's what the fuck I just said. I said, give me the cools. Right. And she goes, oh, well, I'm gonna need your ID. And like, first off, I was upset about the fact that everybody in this store was wearing a mask just to begin with, because I was up north in the cold regions. Right. But like, I oftentimes forget about how the cold regions are in the Pennsylvania. Right. Because like I'd spend a lot of time out in like the country out by the river and shit, like among like the fucking Pennsylvania Dutch and the Amish and whatnot. And like, the Pennsylvania Dutch and the Amish and like, the Italians and the Ricans and blacks, we don't listen to law enforcement. Like, we don't like them in general. Like, we don't respect police in any fucking way, shape, or form. Right. Like, you go down to the hood, you know what I'm saying? I go to little bodegas down here and like nobody's wearing a fucking mask. Right. And like, you know what I'm saying? You go up to like the fucking sticks and nobody's wearing a goddamn mask. But I go up to the fuck cold regions and everybody's wearing a fucking mask. Right. And I told this broad, you know what I'm saying? Cause like, she asked for my fucking ID for cigarettes. And I'm like, I got kids old enough to smoke. Like, why the fuck are you asking for my ID? Well, they card me too. And I'm like, well, congratulations on being a fucking retard. Like, seriously, like, bitch, you're like 65 fucking years old. Why would you think it's okay for you to get carded? It is heir apparent that you're old enough to buy fucking cigarettes. Like, another thing, like fucking, this is the first Dollar General I've been in where everybody wears fucking masks. She's like, really? I was like, yeah, everywhere the fuck else, nobody else is listening to this fucking dumb bullshit. But you goddamn people think you're fucking yuppies up here. You all live in the fucking sticks. And I'm at this point, I'm like fully on my fucking soapbox in this Dollar General. And everybody's looking at me like I'm fucking crazy. And I'm like, I'm not fucking crazy. I ain't fucking bananas. Like legit though. Like these motherfuckers got meth heads riding around on fucking bikes with natural ice baskets and shit. You know what I'm saying? They got fucking like, they're plowing their fucking their roads with ATVs. Like, you're fucking rednecks. Everybody got lifted up pickup trucks and shit. Fucking houses with motherfucking 2x4s on the outside holding the fucking walls together and shit. Like, these are fucking rednecks. But they pretend that they're from the suburbs because they all drive Priuses and shit. Like, I don't understand. Like, I never understood this fucking neighborhood in general. Right? Like, they fucking like law enforcement. They like the law. They like the police around. Like, they constantly get harassed. Like, I'll tell you what, man, I was up here. And I was staying in like basically what you would call the projects up there, but it's not like projects like, like PJs. It's more like just, government housing or whatever. And I was crashing this government aid housing up here, right? Frank, my dear, welcome. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I was standing here and I'm fucking pulling out of this fucking, this government housing complex or whatever. And legitimately the cops have a roadblock set up at the the government housing joint, just to check to see if anybody had warrants. They weren't looking for anybody in particular. They were just running warrants and license plates and registrations and inspections. And nobody has a problem with this, right? Nobody has an issue with this. And I don't understand this mentality of thinking it's okay because individuals are poorer than you, or individuals, are living impoverished, that it's okay to treat them worse than you would expect you to be treated. It's okay to infringe on the freedoms of other motherfucking Americans and shit. At what point did this become okay as Americans? When did this become a fucking thing? Just keeping this all the way 100 in the end of the day, right? Like, let's keep this all the way 100. Like, if you're okay with them going in, if you're okay with the cop standing here busting up a black dude, you're the fucking problem. Like, legitimately. If you're okay with fucking the cop standing here torturing people, you're the fucking problem. Like, legit. It's not the fucking people committing crimes. Like, legitimately, you're the fucking problem. Let's keep this all the way 100. If you are not about freedom for everybody, if you are not about making sure that everyone has their fucking rights, you're the fucking problem. Like, legit. Hound Dog, what up, man? Joe Cooper, how the fuck you doing, man? I don't even know if you have a wrench. I'll check you in a second. Right? But you're the fucking issue in the end of the day. If you're okay with like fucking cops just clipping people and shit, you're the problem. If you're okay watching some random civilian running away from the cops because he doesn't want to fucking get like fucking pulled over and have to pay the fine and go to fucking jail, and you're cool with a dog ripping him apart in the fucking streets, you're the problem. All right? You're the issue in America, not the criminal. Like, legitimately. Because I'll tell you what, in the end of the day, when they make these bullshit ass fucking busts and they eventually get a hold of the dude and they find out he was running because he had a fucking warrant for a parking ticket or a warrant for some speeding ticket or because he didn't have a license because his shit got revoked because he couldn't pay some fucking bill because he isn't making enough fucking money, and you still think it's okay? You're the problem. Let's keep this all the way 100 here. You're the issue in this country. You're the people we're fighting against. You're a statist, and you need to check your motherfucking mental in the end of the day. Like, real shit. If you think homeowners associations are good ideas, you're the problem. If you think your housing value is more important than the freedom of your neighbors, you're the problem in this country. If you think it's okay for them to tax the dog shit out of you, right? Just because your home prices is going up, you're the problem in this fucking country. Let's keep this all the way 100. Like, yo, because I'm tired of this shit. I'm sick of dealing with these fucking people. Unsub from my fucking channel if you think that it's okay to restrict anyone's freedoms in this fucking country to stand here and benefit yourself. Unsub from my fucking channel right now. Like, yo, because I'm not fucking interested. If you ain't learned shit by now, I'm fucking good. Like, real talk. Because I'm sick of this shit. I really am fucking sick of this fucking garbage. I want my fucking freedom back. I can take care of myself. I can take care of my family. I can take care of my kids. I don't need the law. I've been in many places where we fired the fucking cops, got rid of them, and the world was a better place afterwards. People were less stressed out. There was more communities. We had cookouts where you could drink a beer in your fucking front yard. Holy shit. Imagine being an American and being able to stand on the fucking sidewalk of your house and drink a beer with your neighbors and have a real community because you don't have the threat of calling law enforcement on somebody else because you don't like what the fuck it is they said. Imagine if your neighbors fucking stood here and called you at work, right? Because somebody was fucking around your house. And they said, don't worry about it, man. I'll pull the 12 gauge out. Imagine being an American again. You fucking statist fucks. Jesus goddamn Christ. Imagine being an American again. Imagine having freedom. Imagine driving down the road and there's a fucking, and you ain't got to worry about who the fuck, whether or not the cop's going to fucking yank you. Imagine if you don't have imagine if you don't have to go slow on the first or from the fucking, from the fucking 28th to the fucking 5th because the cops got to make their goddamn fucking quotas. Imagine. I saw a cop one time camouflaging his car on the side of the road, pulling branches out and putting it in front of him so you couldn't see him. The fuck type of predator shit is that? And you're okay. Motherfuckers are okay with this. Motherfuckers are okay with law enforcement. Fucking the thin blue line. Eat a dick. Fucking good. Fuck out of here with that shit. The fuck do they really do for you? What? They keep black people out of your neighborhood? You ever consider maybe, just maybe, right? Legitimately, black people want better for their kids too? Imagine. This is America. You should want everybody to have freedom, everyone to do well. This is America. This is what this shit was set up for. I want everybody to eat, not just me, not just you, but everybody. You know why? Because when everybody's included, so's my kids. Imagine not being fucking harassed. Niggas are about to run away. Hound Dog wants to run to Alaska, to the middle of a fucking mountain and go fight grizzly bears because he'd rather do that than deal with law enforcement. That's the point it's gotten to. Oh, but like, yo, fucking, yeah. You know what I'm saying? The fucking right wing is the goddamn problem, huh? Imagine that if like, yo, your kid fucked up outside, like, yo, imagine like, yo, you could talk to your neighbors. Like, yo, imagine that. Imagine having a community where everybody knows everybody and they stop by and say hi and find out how you're doing and you know their kids' names. Imagine this world you could have. You live in motherfucking a neighborhood with fucking thousands of police officers and legit still lock your fucking doors at night. Maybe there's a fucking problem. Like, yo, real shit. Maybe there's a fucking problem. Maybe we need to go back to being people again. How about this one? How about this? Check this out, right? Imagine being a poor person, right? And having like, yo, 10, 12, 20, 30, 50% of your wealth tied up in a car and they fucking tow it. Imagine. And you don't get a trial. You don't get any fucking help. You don't get any motherfucking, like, yo, nobody gives a fuck about you. Why? Because it's important to rip your life apart for a fucking parking ticket. Imagine going back to being free men again. Imagine this. Like, you're legit. Could you imagine being free? Like, I remember these days. I remember being a fucking kid and like legit, you knew everybody. We played the whole block, capture the fucking flag. Yo, what up, Tennessee Marine, my nigga? B token, goddamn 3-4 Yoda. 3-4 Yoda. Right? Imagine being adults in this bitch. Imagine being responsible instead of having to worry about making somebody else responsible. Like, yo, real shit. This world isn't supposed to be completely safe. Sometimes you get to dump a nigga on his head. It is what it is. Yo, Moonbase Radio, what up? Man, listen, y'all, I apologize, man. I kind of fired up from going up north and dealing with these fucking retarded people. Like, you don't understand. Victor Ram, what up, man? Like, I'm upset right now because fucking Americans disappoint me. Like, legitimately, they disappoint me. Like, I seen niggas wearing 2 masks, and I'm just like, yo, I just want to slap the shit out of them. Like, the fuck is wrong with you? Why are you listening to these people who don't care about you? Like, real shit. Like, everybody's so fucking glued to the goddamn news. Come on, man. Like, be a fucking man. Grow up. Like, yo, stop worrying about what the fuck's gonna happen. Yo, I was there. I lived this fucking world. It was beautiful. Man, listen. Grew up chasing chickens and shit. Tennessee Marina link is in the motherfucking Discord if you want to come join us. You know the deal. You're always welcome. Right? I was there. I lived this fucking life. I remember the days when you would leave your fucking house and roll out like 10, 15, 20 miles. Right? And go and enjoy yourself. I remember this. It was a beautiful time. It was a great It was a great time to be. You know what the cops did? The cops would come to the carnival, right? Legit. Like, yo, and the kids, they take the kids to 7-Eleven and buy them fucking Slurpees and shit and hot dogs. Like, yo, that's what the cops did because they gave a fuck. Like, legit. Yo, it's fucking bananas. Yo, 3/4, nigga. Like, yo, I gave you like 2 hours of straight entertainment last night and allowed you to motherfucking take out your frustrations on this nigga. Like, yo, and then I put it up on the motherfucking on my backup channel so that you could watch it over and over again and listen to yourself berate a motherfucking furry online so you can feel better about yourself. Like, yo, don't give me shit about motherfucking importing tardation into my Discord. Man, listen. Anyway, yo, look, I got a second goddamn news article, right? Like, yo, legit, I do. Wait, hang on. We'll do this. How about this? Right? We'll do this, right? Here, hang on. Here, paste. Here, fucking like, yo, anybody wants to join here, I'll put the link in the motherfucking chat. That way you fucking have it. Right. But here, let's share the motherfucking screen, grab the motherfucking Chrome tab, motherfucking go to this one here. Right. All right. I'm not gonna lie, I did watch it again. I know, like, yo, like it is what it is. I'll probably watch it when I go back to work. All right, so they're talking about a silver short squeeze as of recently. Like, and I wanted to cover this because I think it's important, right? And I've had people come to me and tell me that they think silver's going back down below 20. And I'll be real, I don't think silver's ever going to go below 20 again. And if it does, like it's being super manipulated at that point because there's no reason for it to drop below fucking $20 a fucking ounce with the amount of fucking currency that's been goddamn printed. All right, so silver short squeeze, don't believe the hype. This is from Seeking Alpha. All right, silver prices has spiked as retail speculations from various internet communities has dominated the narrative and had a material impact on the precious metals prices. Despite the clear strength of the Reddit rebellion, there isn't much reason to believe that a speculative short squeeze will be the true driver of the iShare Trust next move. We explain why the attention of precious metals investors could not be focused on the whims of the Reddit community as we navigate through these increasingly volatile market environments. All right, well, let's talk about this, right? Because I think it's important to understand. So basically, this is a giant, man, one of them snakes eating its own tail, right? Like this is strange how silver works. So like, yo, they sell paper notes, right? And nobody ever takes delivery of these paper notes. But so what they do is when they sell these paper notes, they're supposed to take delivery on the day that like they start selling more paper notes. So as they fucking stand here and go, all right, well, we sold all these paper notes, we can sell now, like fucking we can buy all the silver if they need delivery so they can cover their fucking shit, right? Because only a certain percentage of individuals actually ever take, delivery of the silver. And then like what they do is they take the rest and they sell more. Right. And like, yo, so you just kind of create this giant feedback loop on itself. And the thing is that the Reddit community, let me be honest here with you, unless they're going to stand here and buy like billions of dollars worth of silver and hold it, right? Which is the only way they could do it. Because that's been done once before, right? And that'll fuck up their entire shit. But when they did this, they legitimately, like, I think they had like the FBI go raid these people at that point. Like, yo, because they don't want anybody fucking up, what like Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan has what they have going on. So when we last covered the emerging dynamics that are currently controlling prices in the silver markets, the sometimes forgotten metal was trading near $24 an ounce. When is silver ever forgotten? Like, yo, and many analysts seem to be saying the great silver rally of 2020 might be coming to a close. However, the recent activities in the markets have belied the true nature of the bullish moves we have seen in commodity space over the last year. And we think that investors should continue to move portfolio holdings into assets with precious metals exposure. That said, we also think that a recent hype surrounding potential for a disruptive short squeeze in silver markets has been highly misleading, and that it would be a mistake for investors to buy physical silver assets on these hopes alone. It is true that recent internet hype from social media platforms like Reddit has inspired dramatic changes in the market valuations of stocks like GameStop, AMC, and GameStop and AMC Entertainment. However, the global commodity space is a very different animal, and investors must have an understanding of the dominant long-term trends visible in these sectors before making a decision to buy or sell silver, right? So silver last year, right, was trading at $16 an ounce. And actually, I think I bought in at like 15. And like at current, it's trading at about 27 at the second, right? So, of course, we know that silver has recently moved to a trade near its highest level in 8 years. And this is why short-term long position based on hopes of a new short squeeze in the precious metals market are simply not justified. While there might be excellent long-term justification for buying silver as an investment hedge against diminishing prospects for fiat currencies around the world, it makes little sense for short-term traders to base active portfolio decisions on the recent market silver valuations that can reach a random round numbers like $100 or $1,000 per ounce. If they called in all the paper, like for every 1 ounce of real silver that exists, there's like something like 600 ounces of paper out there, right? And so, in order for them to be able to cover all of those, they all got called in at one time. They would end up standing here having like fucking like something like $5,000 silver or something along these type of lines, something ridiculous. Of course, the original Reddit post that seemed to inspire this type of speculation came on the heels of what has been described as a retail rebellion in financial markets, and it spread like wildfire as disruptive investors set their targets on the iShares Silver Trust, where this popular instrument amongst commodities traders. Shares of the fund are designated to represent secure silver ounces, and it's why the price tends in SLV to generally track the value of the underlying commodity. Interestingly, the Reddit post in question argued that a new retail movement to establish long positions in SLV would force fund managers to buy physical silver and establish new shares so the supply shortages would emerge. Ultimately, it would lead to these rebellious activities amongst retail investors would lead to the biggest short squeeze in the world, and that these events would eventually send the market value of SLV above 1,000. Well, let's talk about this. Here's the problem: the amount of silver you would have to buy would be ridiculous. I mean, it's fucking possible for you to do this, right? But like long-term holding, like, God, man, you're going to take a fucking beating to get this done. To some extent, we have seen a validation of these beliefs, but perhaps not to the extent that many of these rebellious Reddit traders. Silver quite above a key physical marker at $30 an ounce. And this is significant because we have not seen these price levels since February 2013. In addition to this, silver mining stocks have also rallied based on the argument that sellers of precious metals might be unable to keep up with the market's fresh demand, and this helps stocks like Wheaton Precious Metals Corp break the new highs above $45 level before reversing lower. I'll be real, like I bought a bunch of silver stocks like last week and a half, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, something like that. Like just because, like, I always hold some type of fucking, silver and gold miners in my fucking portfolio. I think it's important because I'll be honest with you, I already own silver, right? I already own gold, and you should have a certain amount of stockpile of it. Let's be real. The amount that you can carry is a small amount. You can't carry that much with you. So, like in a time of like some crazy shit happens, like, oh man, like fucking something bananas, like the government, fucking falls apart, and you have silver just because, you want to be able to have silver to trade. There's only so much silver you can actually have and, defend at that point. Like if somebody finds out that you have all that silver, it's going to be an issue. So you can carry, like I have 1 ounce bars, and I have 2 ounce coins. So it's like important that, you have a way to be able to like you have to be able to carry these around just in case you got to get the fuck out of Dodge. Right. But silver investors must also understand there are significant differences when we compare stocks like GME and AMC, which currently have a combined market cap over $10 billion, with the traditional safe havens that are found in global commodities. According to Goldman Sachs analyst Jeff Curry, it might not even be possible for retail investors to initiate a true short squeeze in the global assets that's as heavily traded as silver. And that's absolutely true. And I'm going to tell you why, right? So, like, all right, you have the entire amount of silver that's on Earth every day gets traded, right, in the overnight markets. So it's going to be highly difficult for you to fucking squeeze these individuals out. Essentially, Mr. Curry's arguments rest on the idea that the iShares Silver Trust is too insignificant to fundamentally change the long-term market trends because the ETF is tied to just 900 million ounces of silver, while the total global market includes over 25 billion ounces of silver. Additionally, he argues that the current rebellion from Reddit cohort will ultimately fail to alter the space in the same way that the Hunt brothers were able to influence the silver market during the now infamous Silver Thursday event, because there are a tighter position limit that exists in modern markets at roughly 7.5 million ounces. In practical terms, a similar event will require coordinated efforts that are highly unrealistic at this point in time, even with all of the enhanced real-time communication and social media magic that is associated with the retail investment community over the last several weeks. As I said, you know what I'm saying? And let me be real here. the amount of silver that they're holding, just like the amount of gold that they're holding. Like they introduced new $5,000 deliverable fucking bonds and shit, right? Or deliverable paper fucking notes. They're never going to take delivery on those because they don't have a fucking ounce of that 5,000 right actually stored. So like it is what it is. It's a giant fucking fraud. Like the whole thing's fraudulent and everybody knows it's fraudulent, but like nobody talks about it. It's like once every 2 years, somebody from fucking, you know what I mean, the JP Morgan silver desk or fucking Goldman Sachs silver desk, one of the two, one of them go to fucking jail because of the fact that like, yo, they're legitimately defrauding goddamn investors on a regular basis. Jim Cramer has echoed similar sentiments of in disbelief in relation to the recent short squeeze attempt, because there still appears to be little interest in selling short the commodity itself. Saying only 2 mining stocks are worthy of investment, despite despite the recent run up in share prices. Specifically, these Cramer worthy stocks include Wheaton Precious Metals and Pan American Silver Corporation. Ultimately believe that it is more important for precious metals investors to focus on the market fundamentals that causes the fall into this position in the first place. Specifically, money supply trends in the United States have been out of control for most of the last year, and continued stimulus programs under Biden administration could continue to create a favorable environment for investors that are long precious metals, right? So like you see here, right, they've added 4 fucking, you know, I mean, like $1 billion or $4 trillion worth of fucking notes into the fucking system, right? Yeah, $4 trillion worth of notes into the fucking system, right? Out of 15, that's really around the fifth, so around 20%, somewhere right around there, maybe a little less, right? And I mean, that's kind of where it is, you know what I'm saying? Well, 15% around, they've added 15% to the money supply, to M2 money supply at this point, you know what I mean? Which always bodes well for fucking gold and silver as a whole, right? But also on top of that, when, you know, the coronavirus first struck, they actually ended up having silver prices drop to $12 an ounce. I don't know how the fuck that worked, right? But the truth of the matter is that there was no silver to be bought anyway. If you wanted to buy silver, you were paying $45 an ounce, and it's kind of still on the same level where legit you're not going to buy a piece of silver for less than $35 right now, an ounce, right? Because like the whole thing's fucking fraudulent. You know, I mean, the actual, not like you're completely divorced at this point. You know, I mean, the amount of money that they're going for in the market, the amount of money you're actually, you know, I mean, able to buy them for, 2 fucking way different things. You know, because there's a premium on actual physical silver. Most of this shit that we're talking about is, you know, I mean, the amount of silver, the amount of money that they're charging for fucking silver notes. And I mean, it's an actual for real silver. Last December, U.S. M2 money supplies rose to 19.2 trillion, which represents another increase from the already elevated figure that was released during the prior month. When we place these trends within the broader context that currently defines monetary policy in the United States, it is looking much more likely that we see highest precious metal prices based on a continued market exodus from base long positions in the U.S. dollar. In the end, we think the precious metals community has been misled by all the fervor that has been created around the power of Reddit, the Reddit investment community. Investors that have been in this game for a while might be tempted to refer to the surprising ability of the Hunt brothers to influence prices in the silver market. However, we must remember that the market has undergone significant changes in the 40-year period that has followed those historic events, and we believe that a similar outcome is looking highly unlikely in the current market context. In practical terms, it is much more probable that recent surge in silver prices represents little more than a short-term trading fluctuation that will turn out to be little consequences for investors with long-term time horizons. That said, we think the great silver rally is still in its early stages, and we remain bullish on the space given its declining prospects for the U.S. dollar. For these reasons, we think that the precious metals investors can still find value in silver ETFs. Now that the iShares Silver Trust has managed to generate a sustained bounce off its number 2020 lows. For SLV in particular, the psychological barriers at 30 can provide headwinds in the near term, but the broader bullish trend remains strong, and we think that it's simply a matter of time before these barriers are broken. So anyway, like I wanted to bring that out and tell everybody about that kind of situation as to where we are, right? Because it's kind of important, right? That, you know, I mean, we have these, you know what I'm saying? I don't care if you fucking bored, right? Legit. Right? You know what I mean? Like fucking, yeah, like, yo, and here's like Jim Max does. I used to know people that legitimately used to take apart keyboards and acid wash them, and they'd stand here and take like the fucking keyboards, they have gold and silver on the inlays of them, and you can wash them and get them back, right? But like fucking, I wanted, you know what I mean, bring out like this ideology about fucking silver and shit, because I think it's important. I've had a lot of people asking me about these things, right? And you know what I mean. So I wanted to put my 2 cents in about what I think silver is going to do. I think silver probably go to 35, 40. You know what I'm saying, before the end of the year this year. And that's just based on, you know, I mean, the inability of individual. Like, I think there's going to be major shocks to the system. I think that we're probably going to see a crash by 2025, right? Like a major, major crash. And by 2030, I think the market's, you know, I mean, going to be on fucking life support. Like it already is, but like it's not anywhere near the level where it's going to be because of the fact that boomers pulling their money out and we're chasing, excuse me, a $70 trillion fucking bubble in the markets right now. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of where my mentality is. You think 50 easily? I feel where you are, right? The problem is inflation isn't shown properly just due to the fact of how manipulated silver is in the market as a whole, right? And that's something that I don't think, you know, I mean, a lot of people really understand the amount of manipulation that's happening. I mean, some people do. Those that are in the know about silver and gold fully understand the amount of manipulation that happens towards these precious metals, right? And Johnny boy, I don't think there's going to be a low to buy at anymore. Right? That's kind of the problem, right? If you ain't in silver already, you're kind of fucked. I'm gonna tell you what, copper and aluminum are looking good, right? If you can, if you want to, if you have the ability, like yo, go out on trash day and start cutting fucking like cords or like vacuums and washers and dryers, refrigerator, whatever the fuck you find, right? Again, Dingleberry and Bitcoin is entirely overpriced right now. And it's not the time to buy Bitcoin. Like real shit. Like if you want to buy Bitcoin, I'm holding for 20,000 on Bitcoin. I think it's going to drop to 20 grand. I'll buy in then, and I know it'll come back up. Right. But Bitcoin legitimately is at 47,000 right now, or 46,000. Like that's way overpriced at this point. It's way too fucking high. That is not a new normal for Bitcoin. You know what I mean? Like, anyway, so if you want to you want to be able to earn a way to buy fucking silver, a proper way to do it, like, yo, well, lead, you're not going to find. That's the pitch. You're not going to find lead unless like you're going and like, I'll be honest with you, most fucking like local yards have a lead reclamation system and shit. You know what I mean? Fucking everyone love them. I'm not making fun of Bitcoin in any way, shape or fashion. I'm saying I think Bitcoin is overbought at the moment, right? It's kind of like, you know what I mean? Like it's all right. So if you were going to go and buy a car, right now would be a terrible time though. Right? Like, yo, now would be a terrible time to buy a car, right? Because the average used car right now is $28,000. So with that being said, that means car prices are completely overinflated, right? So, I mean, if you want to earn your way, right, to buying some silver through, you know what I mean, like actually like, you know, like doing extra shit to do so and be able to buy silver that way, go around and cut cords and then go and like either burn the copper off, you can or like, you know, burn the wires off, the rubber off the wires, right? Like it's kind of fucking like it's kind of on this level of where like you can stand here and take it to the yard and get paid for it and earn, you know what I mean, a couple extra bucks every week, whatever the case might be, and then take that and invest it in silver. And that way you're using the market itself to buy on the market. You're not actually, you know what I mean, like using your actual fucking income to do so. Because right now, if you're using your actual income, you're just going to lose money. Where if you're just trading in dollars that you got for aluminum cans or whatever the case is, you'd be using the market to buy the market, which is probably the best way to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, Bitcoin legit. Like, I think 20K will be the 20. I think it'll drop to 15. That's what everybody's talking about right now. Right. But like, you know, I mean, fucking like I'm buying at 20. I can take a 15. I can take a drop of 5 grand and then, you know, I mean, fucking let it pop back up to, I mean, 40 or 50 again. That's kind of the deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that's where it's at, Johnny boy. Like, if you're going to buy silver or gold right now, that's how I would do it. Right. And, you know, I mean, like, yo, that's the best way that you're possibly going to be able to do it without really, you know, I mean, fucking, how do I put this? Like making, you know, I mean, fucking bad investments with your money that you earned with your hourly wage. You know, I mean, that's kind of my mental at the moment. So with that being said, Joe, man, look, that's my live stream for right now. That's all I really have to say. If anybody has any questions, you know the deal. Join the Discord. It's in the description. Make sure you hit that Streamlabs link. Make sure you hit the Patreon link. You know, become a patron, support the channel. help me the fuck out. Like, yo, for fuck's sake. You know what I mean? Like, yo, real shit. But anyway, in the meantime, that this is Tom P's of Pinoy News. Oh, thank you everybody at Trovo who's over there watching right now. I don't know who all's over there. I can't really see the fucking chat at the second, you know what I mean? Because I don't know exactly what the fuck is going on. You know what I mean? Like, so that's where I'm at the moment. You know what I mean? Yeah. Peace be like one motherfuckers. I'm the fuck up out of here. Later. Peace be like one